What's up?
What's up?
Are we live? People
We
can watch
are.
us? We are.
Yeah, I mean
Any,
it's not showing our faces right now. It's just the pre-screen.
anybody watching?
No, does not look like it.
Mm,
So it's just gonna be me and you.
I guess so. Is anybody else joining?
I have no idea. I asked people. I didn't get an answer from anyone else.
It's okay. This might be my favorite day of the draft, actually.
Day two.
Day two, it's got the second and third round. A year ago, there was actually a stat out there that the most snaps played by any round last year in the NFL in the 2020 draft was by all third rounders.
Wow.
These are the important days.
Yeah. Well,
Got to nail these ones.
it makes sense because it's like the
This
first
is where
round.
you make your money.
Yeah, the first one is supposed to be, I guess, kind of easy because it's the first rounder. You take the best ones. This is where the scouting department.
Makes their money.
Exactly. So, but yeah, we're
Yeah.
live. Looks like it's just me and Trey and I.
There's a lot of good players still on the board. There's a ton of good players still on the board.
Yeah. I feel like this second round, I feel like a lot of DBs and running backs are going to get taken because there's a lot of DBs left and not a whole lot got taken. Like, I got the list right here. So was it?
Yeah, let's do a quick little best available.
Yeah. Let me bring up the list real quick.
I got something right here. We got Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa, Notre Dame.
Yep.
Trayvon Moehrig, TCU safety. Javante Williams, North Carolina running back. Elijah Moore, Ole Miss receiver. We got Aziz Ojulari, Georgia edge rusher. Nick Bolton, Missouri linebacker. Jalen Mayfield, Michigan tackle. Tevin Jenkins, Oklahoma State tackle. Dylan Raduns, North Dakota State tackle. Asante Samuel Jr., who I think is the best player left.
Yeah.
Florida State corner. Landon Dickerson, Alabama center. Christian Barmore. There's a lot of good players left.
There is like this second round is going to be kind of insane because a lot of
When
those.
when does Miami pick here? Early, right?
Yeah, they're 36, I think, and then like 50 something. I want to say, yeah, 36 and 50, 36 and 50.
Who are your hopes here for both picks?
It's odd. There's so many good offensive linemen on the board
See,
right
your
now.
team screwed up here.
They did by taking Jalen
Your
Phillips.
team,
They
your
did.
team screwed up.
They did.
If Ojulari's on the board here at 36, your team really screwed up.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, I I don't know who they should have taken at that spot, but yeah, Jalen
I would
Phillips
have
was
moved down. I would have moved
Jalen
down,
Phillips
or I
was
would
the
have moved
first
up.
edge rusher off the board, and he was the only edge rusher off the board in the first round. So they could have.
Baltimore took one.
Oh, Baltimore took one. That's
Baltimore
right.
and
Yeah, but
the Colts took Quiddy Pay.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Listen, that latter half of the draft, I was just so out of it that it's all kind of a blur. Past 20, I still really don't know what happened.
Your team really screwed up.
They did. Um they really did. But I think
Boy,
they
they better hope that
I
Jalen Phillips has a healthy ass career, man.
I know. Me too, dude. Me too. Like I was thinking about that this morning where it's like it's not the pick that I would have made, but it's the pick they went with, so now I have no choice but to like, well, not support it because I still think it was a stupid decision. But day 2 is salvageable because they have 2 second-round picks.
Well, it's
It's
more than salvageable, but if Ojolari's on the board there at 36, that's going to be so painful for that entire.
it is
I
cuz
would think front
cuz you could
office.
have taken Ojolari at 36. You could have gone a number of different ways at 18, and you could have taken Ojolari at 36. I agree, but it is what it is. Um, I was originally thinking running back here, and I think I would hold off on a running back. If you take a running back, like I would maybe kind of bank on one of the two Carolina running backs being available at 50 and go offensive line
I would
at
not take a
36.
running back at 36.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either. That's what I originally was thinking because I thought running back, like there would probably be a lot of running backs available there, and I didn't think there were going to be like as many good offensive linemen as there are available right now.
Like there was a report today that apparently the Vikings tried really really hard because they moved down with the Jets to the Jets got Vera Tucker. The Vikings moved down. The Vikings wanted to move back up for Darisaw. Ended up getting him anyway. If you're Miami, why wouldn't you move down to 24? Get a couple picks from Minnesota right there.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. But apparently they loved Jalen Phillips that much. Like, I saw some reports where it was like 30 seconds into the pick, like in on the clock, they'd already sent the card to the commissioner, and they'd already called Jalen Phillips to tell him the news that they were making him a Dolphin. So it's like as soon as they were on the clock, it was like there was so they Brian Flores loves him. That's
The
another
only
thing.
the only positive is you stole the pick from the Texans.
That is true. That is correct. If Miami just had 18 and they took
If
Jalen
Miami just
Phillips,
had Jalen Phillips today,
that's an L. That would 100% be an L. But Jalen Waddle is also coming to Miami, so I can walk away from day one at least somewhat happy that Tua has a weapon, and it's a weapon that he's familiar with. But yeah,
yeah.
I hope Miami goes offensive lineman at 36, and then at
Which offensive lineman do you want?
uh let me look. I like the idea of Tevin Jenkins. Maybe can maybe slide him in at one of the two tackle spots. Maybe right tackle. He's kind of the one. He's kind of the one I'm thinking about. But if he's gone, I honestly don't think they could.
What about one of those top tier centers?
Yeah, I like Dickerson too. If I would say Dickerson would be a good backup option if Jenkins isn't available there at 36. But I mean, I I don't know
I would
what
consider
else.
moving down here.
Well, you're trade down Trey. Of course you're going to consider moving down. Of course you are. I just I think they need to go offensive lineman here early on, and then at 50, like I said, they could maybe go running back. They could maybe wait till the third round to go running back. Let me see what pick they have in the third round. They got pick 81 in the
And
third
that's our only
round.
third rounder.
That's their only third rounder. I think I think they have one pick per round now from here on out. Or no, maybe they looks like they don't have a fourth rounder.
Move down. Get the fourth back.
Oh man. Something else that I wanted to talk about. Why is everyone sucking off Howie Roseman for jumping the Giants to get Devontae Smith?
Well, it sounds like the Giants were going to take him.
Yeah, I guess, but maybe. I don't know.
It is something where all the way down to 12 and then realized the guy they wanted wasn't going to be there at 12.
Yeah.
That's a classic Eagles move.
I know. Well, everyone's saying that he played the game right. What did they give up to jump to 10? It was they just swapped picks and what?
It was only one third rounder they gave up.
Okay. That's what I thought.
And they technically got a first round pick to move down to 12.
Yeah.
So they did do well in that aspect.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like you would have thought that all of Howie Roseman's sins were forgiven last night for for what he did.
They still don't have a quarterback. I don't care what anybody says.
No, and they could still just as easily screw up the second round.
Yeah, based on his track record.
Yeah, because
here comes Kellen Mond in the second round.
Yeah. Oh, that would be hilarious. I saw a lot of Eagles fans wanting Asante Samuel Jr., which would be a great pickup for him. But
he's fantastic.
But I could see someone. I could honestly see any of the first three taking him, or someone like I would be cool if Miami wanted to trade back from 36 if someone wanted to jump up and grab Asante Samuel Jr.
I would take him. He'd be the first guy I took in the second round.
I do like Asante Samuel Jr. too. I said it last night, and I said it'd be really hard for Miami to screw this up, and they pretty much almost did by taking Jalen Phillips. So I'm not going to jinx myself again here. I'm so thrown off and confused as a Miami fan.
They did need an edge rusher. We'll give them that.
Yeah.
Especially after the Shaq Lawson trade.
But here's the thing. I'm kind of with you, is like, who else would have taken Jalen Phillips? Like, or like you said, Azeez Ojulari is probably going to be available in the second round. So you could have traded down.
I think he's better.
Yeah, you could have traded down. You could have taken him, or you could have taken someone else, and then Ojulari at 36.
They like Jalen's.
They really like him, man.
They like Jalen's and then another Jalen. That was the plan.
Mm-hmm. Is there any other Jalen's available in the draft? Because then.
Ooh, good question. Do we have any YouTube comments? No.
No YouTube comments. Looks like a few viewers, but no comments as of yet.
Are you happy with the Jalen Waddle pick? Because it is interesting to see how maybe an Elijah Moore or a Rondale Moore is still available to this point. Maybe you would have been better off taking the Kyle Pitts and then getting a Moore in the second round and not trading back at 3.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame Miami for doing it because they got so much draft capital to go back 3 spots.
Yeah.
I just think kind of what they were banking on, because a lot of what was happening before that trade was a lot of talk that the Falcons would be taking a quarterback, specifically Justin Fields, or, and then the Bengals. I mean, pretty much on every draft board up until last night, we're taking Penei Sewell or Rashawn Slater.
Hey, I called that one. I called it in the Slack.
Yeah, you did. And I mean, so I feel like 5 was the one that really kind of, because I talked about this to very drunk Alex last night, is that the Bengals were the one that kind of sent the rest of the draft, like the top 10, into like a weird free fall where it's like teams were picking players that we weren't expecting them to pick. Because like I would have thought that Jalen Waddle would have gone 7 to the Lions.
No, don't wish that upon me.
I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. I love Penei Sewell. Now that man has to go spend at minimum 5 years in Detroit. It's the prime years of that man's career.
God, who do we think are the I don't know, big winner and big loser from the first night?
I mean, as much as I crap on the Bears, I like them trading up to get Justin Fields.
Love that. Love that journey for them.
I mean, if Justin Fields is what you and I think he is, then they actually learned their lesson from the Mitch Trubisky and passing on Mahomes and Watson, trading up to get Trubisky. So,
it's just a shame that Ryan Pace got to keep his job to be able to do that. That's the shame of it.
That's true, but he possibly has learned his lesson, and now he's gone and he's grabbed.
He should have never been able to keep his job after that. But for the first time, I don't know, maybe ever, the Chicago Bears have a more promising future than the Green Bay Packers.
Especially with reports that Rodgers is threatening to retire and just go host Jeopardy.
I don't blame him.
No,
I would want out of there too.
Yeah, me too. Me too. They definitely have not done him any favors.
The Jordan Love thing was a total slap in the face.
It was. And you know, like I said last night, no quarterback has played more than 16 seasons in Green Bay. The past 2, Favre and Starr, I think was the one before Favre. They each played 16 seasons with the Packers. And then Rodgers played his 16th season last year when he won his MVP.
The wild thing of the offseason is going to be, I don't think the quarterback movement is done. Because I think Rodgers has real leverage. Don't you?
Yeah, no. He absolutely does. Because you see the crap on offense that he's rolling out there with, and he won an MVP.
It's not just that. I honestly believe, I don't think he's kidding when he said, yeah, I'll retire. Like, I don't think he's kidding.
I don't think he's, like, honestly, what more besides win a Super Bowl does he have to prove? And, like, yeah, that's a lot, winning a Super Bowl. I get it. But
he's got a hot new girlfriend. That Jeopardy job will pay him like $12 million a year.
Yeah. He's already...
I don't think he's kidding.
He's already in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So he can walk away and go do something that he loves in hosting Jeopardy. And he could literally do that for the rest of his life. And he'll make just as much money as he did playing football.
Like Tony Romo walked away. You think he's crying?
No, he's the highest paid broadcaster at CBS.
He had options. If Rodgers has options, I don't think he's kidding. I think he has real leverage.
No, and I mean, the reports that came after he hosted Jeopardy is like, that was the most fun he'd ever had in his life. Was the week that he guest hosted Jeopardy. To the point where he was like, he wanted to play football and host Jeopardy at the same time. Like, he would go to
I think they might have to trade him.
But what's the value, though? Like,
I don't know.
You can only trade 3 first-round picks in 4 years. So, like, that would obviously be the base.
And who knows what's going to happen with Watson? I don't care what anybody says. Maybe I'm wrong. I still think there's a good chance he plays. I was convinced Tyreek Hill wasn't going to play that 1 year.
When you're a superstar, you always find ways to come back.
We don't know. We have no idea if he's going to play or not.
The reason why Ray Rice was made an example was, one, he wasn't a superstar,
And it was caught on camera.
and it was caught on camera. He was literally caught in 4K, which is why Ray Rice is no longer in the league. But every other
Yeah.
wife beater and domestic abuser is still in the league, and they're highly
Kareem
praised.
Hunt's still playing. Even if Watson gets, what, 8 games, you don't think somebody will trade for him?
Oh, absolutely. What's 8 games for the next 10 years?
Yeah.
And not only that, it's a 17 game season now. So that's not even half the year anymore.
So this offseason might not be close to done.
Hey, I'm cool with that. Who's a big winner for you from last night? And then we'll do like big loser.
That's a good question. Here's a quiet winner. I like the Broncos pick. Sure, they could have went quarterback, but that's a team that's not ready to win now anyway. If they, and I love Fields, and it'll probably come back to haunt them, but they're not winning the Super Bowl. They got to build this roster. To get Surtain at 9 is awesome. Dallas Cowboys to get an extra 3rd round pick and to get a player like Micah Parsons, who would have never been there without Corona. He would have never been at 12 without Corona.
No, he would have gone 6 or 7, depending on.
So to get him to collect an extra 3rd round pick to build up that defense, love that for Dallas. I mean, who's got 3 better linebackers than Van Der Esch, Jalen Smith, and Micah Parsons?
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
And they get a corner here in the 2nd round, and there's still a lot of them available. There should be no excuses for this defense.
Here's a question that I'll throw to you. If there's Asante Samuel Jr. Who's the other big corner that's left on the board? I'm trying to think.
There's a lot of them. There's Tyson Campbell, Kelvin Joseph.
So
I could try to pull up a list.
Let's say like Asante Samuel Jr. and Campbell go off the board fairly quickly. Do you think it would be wise for them to try to move up and grab one? Since that's such a significant need.
I don't think you'll need to because Aaron Robinson, the Central Florida corner, he's an Alabama transfer. He's really good. Elijah Molden, Washington. Who else is there? Kelvin Joseph, the Kentucky guy. He's an LSU transfer. Paulson Adebo, Stanford. I don't think you'll need to trade up. I think one should be there.
All right.
That's what. How many guys do I like? I know the Melifonwu. There's a chance he gets taken. I'm not as high on him, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 cornerbacks that are really good right now. They got the 10th pick in the 2nd round. I don't think they need to trade up.
Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't say that I hated this for this team because they got a really good haul in one of like the only trades to happen. The Giants, I like what they got in return for trading down because they got the coveted next year's 1st round pick.
Could easily be a very good pick.
Because Bears are still rebuilding. But I feel like Kadarius Toney was a reach.
I understand why they did it, but
I do too, but
yeah, I agree with you.
I think it's such a deep receiver class that if you didn't get one of the top 3, that you could get better value in the 2nd round. Like they could have gone offensive line.
And I don't necessarily know where they're going to play the guy. They have Kenny Golladay, Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard.
Slot?
Where's he playing? He's going to be your gadget guy. In all reality.
Yeah. I mean, I would have rather
I
because
mean, I think there's a chance he's good because the guy can fly. But I almost like him as, hey, you should take snaps at running back though. Like for him to be worth this pick, he should be taking snaps at running back. He should realistically be like the Chiefs version of Tyreek Hill.
mm-hmm.
If you're just lining him up at receiver, that ain't gonna work.
It's definitely a Dave Gettleman pick. But kudos to Dave Gettleman for finally trading back.
First time in his
Like,
life.
yeah, what 9
That's
years as a GM, finally trades back.
that's ugh.
And who knows? And it could work out so well for him that he becomes trade down Gettleman, and he just starts trading down like crazy.
I just can't believe those reports of Vikings really wanted to move up again for Darisaw. They got him anyway. There's so many picks in draft. Like, why turn the card in there? Like, why turn the card in there? Washington, Jamin Davis, 19. Why? Why did you need him at 19?
Yeah, that's another one that I thought was a ridiculous reach.
Why did you need him at 19? Jacksonville Jaguars.
That was a terrible
Can't
pick.
I can't fathom taking ETN. Like, if you're sitting there in your war room, like, hey, we traded this pick for Jalen Ramsey. Like, we gotta get something here. Third round running back. What?
I know that
What?
I saw that this morning too. It's like, yeah, we envisioned him as a third down running back. You mean to tell me you drafted a guy in the first round?
You mean to tell
Just
me
to
we traded Jalen Ramsey to take a third down running back? No.
when you already have a good
No.
running back and you're a team that literally could have gone with any other position.
And not just that, they signed Carlos Hyde.
Yeah, dude, it's just
And Urban
Urban.
Meyer loves Carlos Hyde because he had him at Ohio State,
Yeah.
I think.
Well, they definitely didn't need to go tight end at that position if Tim Tebow decides to come back and play tight
I
end.
hope that happens. I hope that happens.
That would be pretty
They don't
good.
even really have a tight end either.
No, did don't they have Ertz now? Or
No, Ertz is still in Philadelphia.
Ertz is still, or not Ertz, not Ertz. Who was it?
I don't know. Did they sign Eifert? Maybe.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Tyler Eifert. Because I was trying to remember who it was because whoever like their third or fourth string, I did a who the fuck is that guy for during one of the fantasy shows because yeah, I think it was Eifert because Eifert's always injured.
Do we want to do a second round, first 10 picks of the second round mock draft?
Sure, I'm down.
Where does Miami pick? Hang on.
Miami is 36.
Yeah, so you go first here. You take Jacksonville. Pick 33.
Jacksonville. I mean, I'm gonna go with Asante Samuel Jr. I feel like that's the easiest one for Jacksonville. Is this what we would do, or is this what we think they'll do?
We can do both versions. We got time. It starts at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like they're gonna need help in that secondary. I mean, they need help across the board.
They signed Shaq Griffin.
Yeah, so just get you a good two guy in that DB in that secondary and 100% go Asante Samuel Jr.
All right. I think the Jets. I would probably take Tyson Campbell here. The Jets have nobody at corner. Jackson Law, name some of the Jets cornerbacks.
I can't. I honest to God cannot because
It's bad.
they're probably guys that on if they were on any other team, they're practice squad.
Actually, I screwed this up. I have to pick for the Falcons. You have to pick for the Dolphins.
Okay, well you go back to back, and then I'll go with Miami, and then we'll just go back to alternating.
Okay. Atlanta Falcons. Let's take the Georgia guy, Ojulari here for the Falcons.
Who'd you pick?
Atlanta needs some
Who'd you pick for the Jets?
Tyson Campbell.
Oh, Tyson Campbell. Okay.
Atlanta needs some defense of help pretty much everywhere. They need pass rushers. Bring in the Georgia kid, Ojulari to Atlanta.
With Miami, I'm gonna take Scott's boy here, Tevin Jenkins. Shore up that offensive line. Make sure Tua has enough time for Waddle to get open downfield.
Philadelphia Eagles. Let's take the Notre Dame guy, Owusu Koromoa. They got no linebackers. They haven't had a linebacker since Jordan Hicks walked out the door. So to get him in the second round, I think would be a good pick right there.
So for the Bengals, I'm gonna go with Landon Dickerson here. You didn't go O lineman in the first round, you have to protect Joe Burrow, or else it's just going to be that picture where he's on the ground, clutching his knee, and all of his teammates are standing around him, looking depressed. It's just gonna be like that every year.
Carolina, let's go. Let's go. Dylan Raduns, the North Dakota State tackle. They went corner in the first round with J.C. Horn. Now they get their left tackle of the future.
Okay. Oh, let's see here.
We can take this all the way to Miami's pick and then call it.
Okay. Okay. Gosh, what do the Broncos need? Who's the starting? Who are the safeties for Denver?
Justin Simmons. I can't think of the other one. I don't know who the other one is.
I say Broncos double down here early on shoring up that secondary. Because, like you said, they're not ready to compete. There's good defensive players here. If you want to go skill position in the third round, there still may be some guys available that will have good value. I can't pronounce this guy's last name. You know how terrible I am with last names, but
Morig.
Morig, yeah, out of TCU. Safety out of TCU. That's who I'm going to go with here.
All right. Detroit Lions. I don't want to give them one of the best receivers, so I'm going to give them the Michigan. I'm going to give them the Michigan product, Nico Collins, in their backyard. Kind of, I guess, looks maybe like Galladay's a big target. Should be decent in the 50-50 balls. You need a receiver there. Jared Goff he got his left tackle. Now he gets his receiver in round 2.
All right, so the Giants. See, this is where I would have gone receiver if the Giants hadn't done that. Because there's still would have been some good guys available. Gosh, all right, so man, what are the Giants? I feel like the Giants need an edge rusher, but don't know if there's really anyone available right now that's just eye-popping to me. Again, I cannot pronounce this guy's name, and I would do it disservice if I did.
What's the guy's school?
It's Syracuse corner.
Melifonwu.
Melifonwu. Yeah, they're gonna go secondary. You're in a division that has all those weapons, specifically Dallas. So shore up that secondary. Try to slow him down as best as you can.
San Francisco. Let's take Kelvin Joseph, the Kentucky corner. Um, After you lose Richard Sherman, you kind of need somebody back there. So San Francisco shores up that secondary. I think that's probably the way to go.
That's who I was going to take for the Cowboys if you didn't take him. Um, let's see. I'm going to go. I don't know. No, they don't need. I'm going to go with another Syracuse guy, but a safety. I'm going to go with Andre Cisco here. Terribly weak secondary. So you just got to take kind of like the best available guy here, or whatever guy that's in the secondary that you like best. So may not be Andre Cisco, but I'm gonna rock with him there.
Here's a fun fact: Jaguars' new tight end coach. He comes from Penn State. Maybe they take Pat Fryermuth here to give the Jaguars a real tight end instead of Tim Tebow. Pat Fryermuth to Jacksonville.
Nice. All right, so I've got the Patriots. Patriots. I'm gonna go offensive line here, going Creed Humphrey out of Oklahoma. Got a brand new quarterback. Do what you can to protect him. Do you not like that pick?
They kind of have a center with Andrews, but I don't hate it. Chargers. This is interesting. Chargers. Let's go. Let's go linebacker Baron Browning for the Chargers. They just shored up that offensive line to get a little linebacker next to Eric Murray or Kenneth Murray. I don't know why I said Eric. Kenneth Murray. Beef up this defense a little bit. Could be the pick.
All right, so let me put myself into Mike Mayock's shoes here. Who's a guy I can reach for?
Ben Mason, the fullback.
I won't be that mean.
Who's the best kicker available?
Gotta go defense here. All right, this feels 100% like a Mike Mayock move, so I'm gonna rock with it. And I don't think I've heard you say his name, but Jabril Cox, linebacker at LSU.
I like him. I'm gonna snake you here with the Cardinals. Javonte Williams. They don't really have a reliable running back. Feels like something that Arizona could pull the trigger on here in the second round.
Javonte Williams. That's fine because I like Javonte Williams and Michael Carter. So honestly, don't think they could go wrong with either one. Like I like Williams more, but I think Carter's not terrible. So with Miami, I'm gonna rock with the incredibly tiny Michael Carter.
Okay. That should be interesting. So one of the running backs was available there for pick 50.
One of the running backs was available there. If they're both gone, trade back.
What do you think? We can end this at 6:30? Do a couple more topics here?
Yeah.
What do we think about Rondale Moore? Nobody has seemed to even include him in some of these mock drafts here for the second round. There's a lot of receivers available.
Yeah, I think what it I don't know if it's true or not, but just I guess a hypothesis I have is that it's such a deep receiver class that everyone thinks let's shore up other positions that may not be as deep or maybe more pressing, and we can pick up a receiver later, and that will give us better value.
I don't think there was any reason to take Rashad Bateman. Like the LSU receiver, Terrace Marshall, still there's going to be a really good receiver. Like I know Cam just said this in the Slack. Do we think a receiver will be there for the Packers at 60? I do.
Absolutely.
Somebody will be there.
And
Somebody will be there
it'll
at
be someone
60.
good too.
Yep. Somebody will be there at 60.
Yeah. But like I said, I think it's just such a deep wide receiver class. Everyone wants to get the other positions. Everyone wants to get offensive line or secondary. Some really
Do we have
important
any
positions.
predictions for the landing spots for the quarterbacks in the second round?
Kellermond, Eagles. um, I don't. Do you think a quarterback goes in the second round?
Do we think Kyle Trask is going anywhere tonight? Probably.
The I don't know. The only team that I've heard that's been interested in him is the Steelers. But I don't know if they would take him here, especially considering that they didn't go offensive line in the first.
Who do we think are some teams that'll take a quarterback in the second round?
Um, Washington may be a candidate,
Yeah.
just because I mean they. I don't know about the second round. If it was maybe the third round, I think we could start seeing other quarterbacks off the board. That's probably what I would say. So
Do we think New Orleans will take one?
I don't know because they have Jameis Winston still, and
And Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill. So I wouldn't think them.
Do we think the Packers will take a quarterback?
They obviously love Jordan Love, so I don't know.
Do we think Tampa will pick a quarterback?
I could see them. They're kind of sneaky in there, taking a flyer pick in like the late second or third round to learn and sit behind Tom.
Do we think the Raiders will take one?
The Raiders should have traded up to get one. Well, no, because apparently Aaron Rodgers is on the list of teams that he would be traded to.
There we go.
So it's really funny. The Raiders are on everyone's list to be traded to, but they're not getting any of them.
Well, I didn't think the Bears were going to get anybody either, but hey, here we are.
That's true. That's true. Well, that's because the Bears finally wised up, and they're like, we gotta go all in. We gotta get our guy. Because if Justin Fields is the guy, then whatever price you paid for him is worth it.
It's incredible.
Yeah, the Bears might actually be fun to watch this year. just for the fact. And also, everyone was pointing it out on Twitter how awkward it was, but they were bringing up the tweet of Andy Dalton, like side by side, where it was like QB1 and it showed Dalton in a Bears jersey, and then another one where he was quoted as saying, "They told me I was going to be the starter when I got here." Which
He's not lying. He'll probably start week 1.
yeah, yeah, and then he'll throw like 2 interceptions and they'll roll Justin
That'll be
Fields
the
out
end of
there,
it.
and then that'll be the end of it.
Yeah.
Can we also talk about how impressive? Well, I don't know if it's impressive to say, if it's really impressive, but just the fact that the 49ers had everybody thinking that they were taking Mac Jones at 3.
Apparently, there's a new report out today. Did you see that one?
No, what?
Apparently, Colin Cowherd influenced the 49ers to take Trey Lance.
Oh, I kind of knew that because I kept saying that Cowherd was going to will this into existence because that is more than likely his future son-in-law.
Because John Lynch, I guess, worked for Fox, and they know each other or something, and Cowherd had the influence.
I I just thought it was more interesting when it came out that none of the coaching staff knew who they were taking. Like no one in that office knew who they were taking. They just turned in the card and they ended up getting Trey Lance. They got Trey Lance. And then also, I guess there was a scout in the Falcons front office that wasn't too happy. And there's video of when they turned in the pick, and it showed the Falcons draft room. Like everybody was, high fiving and shaking hands, and there was a scout. He was just like chilling on his phone. So maybe that was the one guy that was pulling. It's like, let's get Justin Fields. Let's draft a quarterback. And everyone's like, no, we're rolling with Matt Ryan still.
Man. It's not too surprising Atlanta took Pitts, though. The guy they hired, Arthur Smith, he was a tight end coach. He's probably banging the table for him over and over and over and over again.
Oh, I'm sure. And I mean, Pitts is going to be incredible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as much as they probably should have gone quarterback, it is what it is. They get a great tight end that they'll hold hostage for 5 years. Because after 2 years of Matt Ryan's up, what's after that? You gonna re-sign Matt Ryan?
Maybe they can swap Rodgers.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
What
you
else?
Got any predictions for tonight?
Predictions? Not really. I think I'll say this: there will be one quarterback taken in the third round. That'll be my prediction. At least one.
My prediction is, it's too good to be true right now. The Eagles fans are happy. They got Devontae Smith. It's too good to be true. Some kind of bombshell's coming where they're gonna pick like Kellen Mond in the second or third round. Something's gonna happen like that where the Eagles fans, it doesn't feel like a draft unless they're flipping out.
Yeah, and again, you would have thought that Howie Roseman was going to get them another Super Bowl this year. The way that they were all acting, like I'm all for being hyped on draft day, but they got hyped because Howie Roseman made the easy pick.
Yeah.
And he had to give up a third round pick because they screwed
up. The real
up.
MVP of the first day of the draft was Alex Chick.
Yeah. Was he the real MVP or was he the biggest loser? man ended up throwing up afterwards.
You didn't do so well yourself though.
I didn't, but it wasn't because I was drunk. It wasn't because I was whiffing on the picks.
How many shots did he end up doing again?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I think out of the first 14 or 13 picks, excluding the first two, he only got 2 or 3 right.
Oh boy.
I know he got the I know he got the Justin Fields one right. I think he got the Jalen Waddle one right. Maybe. I can't remember. Devontae, did he get the Devontae Smith one right? He got the Rashawn Slater one right. I remember that. But honestly, by the time we got to pick 12 or 13, he was already gone. And then it just continued. And then after the we brought up Mike Mayock earlier, but we still haven't brought up his first round pick of Alex Leatherwood.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
That's where things for Alex really started to deteriorate. For the next 2.5 hours, it just was all downhill for Alex.
He had quite the speech to me last night.
Yeah, it was great. I caught some of it.
Uh,
That was
he's
hilarious.
such a
But
beauty.
I think everyone is universally agreeing that the Alex Leatherwood pick was one of the biggest reaches. Not
I
necessarily.
don't hate him.
Yeah, but 17 though.
Yeah, that's the problem. I got him at 48 in the Ravens simulator.
Yeah, it's just, and that's what everyone says. It's not the fact that you got Alex Leatherwood; it's that you got Alex Leatherwood at 17, and
Which
that
was the problem with the Damon Arnett pick a year ago.
yeah, and it's the same thing that like a lot of people are saying with Najee Harris to the Steelers too. It's not the fact that Najee Harris isn't a great player. He's the like to
I
me.
like that better than the ETN pick, though.
Well, the
ETN pick,
ETN pick made no sense
yeah.
because you had two other running backs, and you're like, yeah, we'll use him as a third down back.
I think the Steelers fans are going to be more than fine after they take an offensive lineman here in the second round.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe Brian will cool down a little bit
Yeah.
once they go
In fact,
lineman.
they may end up doubling up. They may take one in the second and third round, and I think
That's what Miami
they'll
did last year. They like doubled and tripled down on offensive linemen last year. We'll see how they do in year two, but I would still like Miami to probably go offensive line that next pick, and then just gamble on there being a running back. Because if there isn't, there's always next year. Because running back is an easily replaceable position because their shelf life is so small that you don't want to spend like pick 18 on Najee Harris. So I'll gamble at 50. I'll gamble at 50. If not, then you take a flyer in like the 4th or 5th round.
There's a lot of late round running backs I like this year. Jarrett Patterson at Buffalo, Jermar Jefferson, Oregon State. There's a bunch of late round ones that I like, which happens normally every year. But
Yeah, I mean Michael Gaskin, it was I think literally the last pick of the draft, the year that he was drafted, and he was starting games.
Salvon Ahmed, you got Malcolm Brown.
What a trio right there.
Yeah, that's a trio.
Combined, they may get close to 1,000 yards if it's just the three of them. But the run game is non-existent in Miami. I mean, I think twice last year a running back hit the 100-yard mark. I think Gaskin did it once, and then Ahmed did it once.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun second and third round.
It is. I will definitely be paying more attention. One, just because I feel better. I feel a lot better. I think tomorrow I'll be functioning normally again. But like we said at the beginning, this is where everyone earns their keep. This is where the money's made. This is also where future Super Bowls could be won or lost.
Yep.
Because you're
All right.
you're talking about getting great guys at incredible value when you got a guy that you really wanted in the first, then the second, the third. But
All right. I think if we have anything else, should do it. We'll enjoy the second and third round, but this is a good preview for tonight.
yeah. So I will definitely be tuned in. I'm sure the Slack will be bumping.
Alex will be sober.
Alex will be sober, which is why we're not doing a recording tonight. Because if Alex is sober, what's the point of streaming and putting out a video?
Yeah.
All right, but guess that's gonna do it for us. If you were watching this live, we appreciate you. If you're watching it back, we also appreciate you. But you should totally catch us live. More fun that way. But yeah, that's gonna do it from us. I'm Jackson Law. He's Trey Daubert from Vendetta Sports Media, and we will see you guys next time.